I sit alone in my parked car outside Wilson's funeral home, my trembling hands clutching my phone. The screen blurs through my tears, but the message exchange still glares at me like an open wound. My text: Chloe passed. Funeral in 3 days. Megan's one-word reply: okay. Not, I'm so sorry. Not, I'll be there. Just, okay. My phone rings, startling me. Mom's name flashes on the screen. After hours of silence, now she calls. I press the speaker button, unable to trust my voice against my ear. Lauren? Her voice fills the car, too bright for what this day holds. I'm here, I whisper. Honey, about the funeral. She pauses, and something in that hesitation sends ice water down my spine. We can't come. We already promised to help Megan with her housewarming party. The words hang in the air. My mind refuses to process them at first, as if they're spoken in a foreign language. Her housewarming party, I repeat, not a question, a statement of disbelief. It's been planned for weeks, Mom continues, her voice taking on that familiar defensive edge. You know how important this house is to her. More important than Chloe. More important than my daughter's funeral. My child is dead. The words scrape my throat raw. And we're very sorry about that, Mom says, her tone suggesting an inconvenience rather than a tragedy. But Chloe wouldn't want us to disappoint Megan. You know how sensitive she is. The memory crashes over me. Chloe in her hospital bed just 1 week ago, frail, yet somehow still radiating that stubborn light of hers. Her small fingers working colored pencils across paper, creating cheerful drawings for the nurses who'd become like family. Miss Abby likes purple unicorns, she told me seriously, her tongue caught between her teeth in concentration. And Dr. Miller needs a rocket ship because he told me his son loves space. That same day, the doctor had mentioned possible remission, the first hopeful words in months. I'd stepped into the hallway, fingers shaking, as I dialed Mom's number to share what felt like the first breath after drowning. That's nice, honey, Mom had said, distracted. The clinking of glasses in the background. I'm helping Megan pick out curtains for her new house. The blue ones make the living room too dark, don't you think? I'd murmured something vague and turned back to Chloe, to what mattered. And then came that night. The beeping machines at 2 a.m., the sudden shift in energy as nurses rushed in, the terrible certainty in the doctor's eyes. At 2:20 a.m., I held my daughter's small hand as she slipped away. The machines went silent. The room emptied except for that hollow absence where Chloe's laugh should have been. I sat there for hours, unable to move, unwilling to release her hand because then it would be real. When morning light crept through the blinds, a nurse, Abby with her purple unicorn pin, placed a gentle hand on my shoulder. Would you like me to call someone for you? She'd asked. But there was no one. Not really. Just me. I don't understand, I say now into the phone. This is your granddaughter's funeral. Mom sighs. Lauren, you're being dramatic. Chloe was sick for so long. You've had time to prepare. The rage that flares is so sudden and hot, it steals my breath. I hang up without another word and dial Megan's number instead. Hello? My sister sounds annoyed, as if I've interrupted something important. Mom says you're having a housewarming party on the day of Chloe's funeral. My voice doesn't even sound like mine. Hoarse from crying, hollow with disbelief. The date was set weeks ago, Megan says flatly. She's already dead. She doesn't care when she goes in the ground. I'm alive, and I want to celebrate my new house. The phone nearly slips from my numb fingers. I think of Chloe just months ago, flipping through old photo albums, pointing at pictures of Grandma's house where Megan now lives. If Grandma's house can make someone happy, she'd probably like that, right? Chloe had asked, wise beyond her years even then. I hang up without speaking. What words could possibly answer such cruelty? I stare at the funeral home entrance, its dignified columns and dark wooden doors. Inside, they're preparing my daughter's body while her own family prepares for a party. What kind of family, I whisper to the empty car, chooses a housewarming party over their own flesh and blood's funeral? The question hangs unanswered as determination slowly replaces the grief on my face. My hands stop trembling. I reach for my phone again, but this time I dial a different number. Hello, is this the police department? I'd like to report unauthorized use of my property. The weight of my funeral clothes hangs heavy as I sit across from David, my grandmother's lawyer for 30 years. His office smells of old books and coffee, a familiar comfort in a world suddenly devoid of any. My black dress still carries the scent of lilies from Chloe's service. I'm sorry to drag you here today of all days, Lauren. David's glasses slip down his nose as he shuffles through a manila folder. But after your call, I pulled your grandmother's documents immediately. I nod, my throat too raw for words. 4 hours ago, I watched them lower my daughter's casket into the ground, alone. Here it is. David slides a document across his mahogany desk. The deed to your grandmother's house is still in your name. The transfer to your sister was never completed. The words hit me like a physical blow. That can't be right. I gave Megan the keys last year. Giving keys isn't the same as legal transfer. David taps a finger on the document. According to my records, you said the paperwork could wait. A memory surfaces Mom and Ted, my stepfather, sitting at my kitchen table 3 weeks after Grandma's funeral. Their voices urgent, insistent. Megan needs a fresh start after that messy breakup, Mom had said, stirring her tea with quick, nervous movements. You know how much she loved that house. It should stay in the family, Ted added, his tone reasonable, practiced. You've got your place. Megan has nothing. I'd been numb with grief, still finding Grandma's knitting needles in odd places around her house, still smelling her perfume on the couch cushions. Fine. The word had tumbled from my lips, desperate to end the conversation. She can have it. The paperwork can wait until things settle down. I'd handed over the keys the next day, relief washing over me as one responsibility lifted from my shoulders. David's voice pulls me back. Lauren, they've been pressuring you during your daughter's illness. Did you realize that? His words sliced through the fog in my brain. What do you mean? The last communication about transferring the deed came 5 months ago, right when Chloe was diagnosed. He removes his glasses, polishing them with a handkerchief. You responded that you needed time. 5 months ago, when my world collapsed with a doctor's gentle voice saying, leukemia. I'd forgotten all about the house, I whisper. David places a folder before me. You asked me to gather your financial records too. My hands tremble as I open it. Bank statements. 5 years of them, neatly organized. The numbers blur then sharpen with terrible clarity. A pattern of $2,000 monthly transfers to my mother's account unbroken, even through Chloe's illness. Oh God. I flip through statement after statement, months passing in a shuffle of paper. There it is, the payment sent. The night I worked until 3 a.m., editing manuscripts from a chair pulled alongside Chloe's hospital bed. The payment sent the week I maxed out my credit cards to cover medication copays. A separate document catches my eye. A car loan in my mother's name, dated 1 month after Chloe's diagnosis. A $42,000 Mercedes. My phone buzzes. A text message from my mother. Need extra this month. Car insurance went up. How's Chloe doing? My stomach twists as I open Instagram. A post from 2 hours ago during Chloe's funeral appears at the top of my feed. My mother and Megan, champagne glasses raised high, standing in Grandma's kitchen. My grandmother's antique mirror reflects their smiling faces. New beginnings, blessed, new house. I stare at their faces at the timestamp. This wasn't thoughtlessness or poor timing. This was deliberate. A knock at the office door, and David's receptionist pokes her head in. Your ex-husband is here. Says he's been looking for you. Derek steps into the room, his eyes red-rimmed, his suit wrinkled from sitting through the service. Unlike my family, he came. He held my hand as they lowered our daughter into the ground. Lauren, his voice breaks on my name. I went to your place, but you weren't there. I was worried. Did you know? I hold up my phone, showing the Instagram post. Did you know they didn't come because of a party? Derek's face hardens as he takes my phone. Jesus Christ, is that today? A notification pops up on my screen. An email from my tenant in the small rental property I inherited from my father, me only source of steady income during Chloe's illness. Someone claiming to be your mother called saying you're mentally unstable after your daughter's death, and that I should send rent payments to her until further notice. Wanted to check with you directly. The room spins, then steadies with sudden crystal clarity. They didn't just abandon me during the worst moment of my life, I say, rising to my feet. They tried to profit from it. David hands me the house keys and deed from his desk drawer. These are legally yours. What do you want to do? I close my fingers around the cold metal of the keys. In the distance, I hear sirens growing louder. How far would I go to stand up to family who betrayed me at my most vulnerable moment? Would I forgive the unforgivable, or draw a line that could never be uncrossed? The answer comes with the wail of approaching police cars. My phone buzzes for the 5th time today. I let it vibrate against the kitchen counter, watching it dance closer to the edge with each notification. Another flying monkey sent to do my mother's bidding. Lauren, honey, we're all worried about you. My Aunt Carol's voice fills my voicemail. Your mother says you're not thinking clearly. Grief can make us do things we regret. Just let this house thing go. I delete the message without responding. The phone chirps with a text. This time it's Megan. Some people are just toxic. Cutting them out is self-care. Blessed. Boundaries. New chapter. Below her post is a photo of her lounging in what was my grandmother's sunroom. I set the phone face down. There's another certified letter from her lawyer on my counter, still unopened. Half the neighborhood thinks I'm having a mental breakdown. The other half knows exactly what happened. Mrs. Rivera crossed the street yesterday when she saw my mother approaching, then knocked on my door an hour later with a casserole and quiet solidarity in her eyes. I saw what they did, she'd said simply. My husband's family didn't come to our son's funeral either. Chloe's grave is still fresh, the grass not yet grown over the disturbed earth. I kneel beside the small headstone, running my fingers over her name. I always taught you to be kind, sweetheart, I whisper, placing a small bunch of daisies against the cold stone. But I never taught you to stand up for yourself. I won't make that mistake anymore. The words surprised me with their clarity. For weeks I felt nothing but a hollow ache where my heart should be. But today, something new stirs beneath the grief. Something with edges. What I'm hearing, Dr. Matthews says, leaning forward slightly in her chair, is remarkable clarity about what happened and what needs to happen next. I blink, surprised by her assessment. Is that unusual? In my experience, yes. Most people who suffered both the loss of a child and family betrayal struggle to separate their emotions from their actions. She makes a brief note on her pad. Your anger is justified, Lauren. That night, I finally tackle Chloe's room. Her rock collection lines the windowsill, each one labeled in her careful handwriting. I sleep through the night without waking, without crying. I wake at dawn with something steady in my chest. Not peace, it's too solid for that. Resolve. My mother's face when she opens her front door is a study in manufactured concern. Lauren. Oh, honey, I've been so worried. She reaches for me, arms open for a race I don't step into. Cut the act, Mom. The mug freezes halfway to her lips. Excuse me? I've been supporting you financially for years while you undermined me. My voice is steady, prizing me. Monthly deposits, even while Chloe was sick. We're family, she says, as if this explains everything. You chose the housewarming party over your granddaughter's funeral. Her face hardens, the sympathetic mask slipping. You're still on about that. Lauren, Megan had people coming from out of town. She switches tactics, tears welling. After all I've done for you. Yes, I say quietly. After all you've done. Derek meets me at the lawyer's office, sliding a folder across the table. The house is still in your name. Your grandmother's will is clear. And the financial records? He nods. Bank statements showing regular payments to your mother for the last 5 years. Emails proving they knew about the funeral. His jaw tightens. Lauren, they were taking your money while you were trying to save our daughter's life. My phone buzzes. The meal train group, letting me know dinner will be delivered. My landlord calls next. That woman your mother, she called, claiming you were unstable and might damage the property. I told her to take a hike. My boss follows. Take all the time you need, Lauren. Your job will be here. The police cruiser pulls up behind my car in front of what was once my grandmother's house. Megan's face when she opens the door is first shocked, then furious. What is this? Miss Parker, the officer says, we're here to explain the legal situation regarding this property. For the next 10 minutes, the officers explain she has been living in the property without legal right, that I have documentation proving my ownership. 48 hours, the older officer says. You have 48 hours to vacate the premises. Megan's tantrum escalates as neighbors peek from behind curtains. I stand silent, neither gloating nor retreating. The older officer pauses beside me. My sister lost a child too. Take all the time you need, ma'am. 2 days later, I sit alone in my grandmother's empty living room. The house feels hollow, Megan's presence scrubbed away, but nothing yet to replace it. I run my hand along the bookshelf and feel something tucked behind the classics my grandmother loved. I pull it out, a folded piece of construction paper, close drawing from months ago. I unfold it with trembling fingers. A stick figure with wild hair stands tall, arms outstretched, a red cape flowing behind. Mommy is scrawled across the top in Chloe's handwriting. A superhero. Tears come again, but different this time. Not the drowning waves of grief, but something cleaner, sharper. I won't just survive this, Chloe, I whisper, pressing the drawing to my chest. I'll show you what strength really looks like. The security company van pulls away from the curb. 4 cameras now watch over the property, one at each corner. The technician's words echo in my head. The cameras upload to cloud storage, anything can be deleted. At the bank, I cancel the automatic payments to my mother's account. 5 years of monthly support ended with a signature. Derek emails me the last piece of evidence, of screenshots of our group chat the day Chloe died. My message announcing her passing. Their read receipts. The timestamps showing they'd seen it, known about the funeral, chosen the party anyway. This should be enough, he writes. They can't deny they knew. It's nearly midnight when my phone buzzes with a text from my neighbor across the street. You need to come quickly. Something's happening at the house. I open the security app on my phone. The night vision camera shows Megan's car parked halfway up the driveway, headlights off. She moves toward the back door, something in her hand catching the moonlight. The sound of breaking glass comes through the speaker, a window shattering. My hand doesn't shake as I dial 911. My voice doesn't waver as I explain the situation. And when I grab my keys and head for the door, my face shows only determination. They've taken enough from me already. They won't take anything more. The security footage plays on my phone screen in crisp, undeniable clarity as I stand on the sidewalk watching 2 police officers approach my grandmother's house. Megan's red Toyota is parked crooked in the driveway, half on the grass. Ma'am? The older officer, Williams according to his nameplate, gestures toward the house. You said this is your property? I nod, handing him the property deed. Yes, it belonged to my grandmother. I'm the legal owner. The sound of shattering glass cuts through the night air, followed by muffled cursing. Stay here, Officer Williams says, his hand moving to rest on his holster. I remain by the patrol car, my body tense but my mind remarkably clear. The security camera app on my phone continues recording, capturing every moment. The front door flies open. Megan stumbles out, a baseball bat dangling from her right hand. When she spots me, her face contorts from surprise to rage. You called the cops on your own sister? She lunges forward, but Officer Williams blocks her path. Ma'am, drop the bat, now. She hesitates, then lets it clatter to the porch. This is ridiculous. This is my house. Actually, I step forward, my voice steady. It's not. And the security cameras I installed last week show you breaking the front windows with that bat. Megan's mouth drops open. Her eyes dart to the small camera, mounted under the eaves. I want to press charges, I tell Officer Williams. For vandalism and breaking and entering. This is now a criminal matter, ma'am, he informs Megan as his partner reads her rights. Mom shows up at my apartment the next morning, her eyes red-rimmed, clutching her purse against her chest like armor. I don't invite her in. Lauren, honey, this has gone far enough. Her voice wavers. Families need to stick together. I forgave when you missed Chloe's school plays. I drew the line at missing her funeral for a housewarming party. She reaches for my hand. I step back. Chloe wouldn't want this division in the family. She was such a sweet girl. Don't. My voice drops to a dangerous whisper. Don't use my daughter's name to manipulate me. Something shifts in her expression, the motherly mask, slipping to reveal the calculation beneath. Her eyes narrow. You've always been difficult, so sensitive. Her voice hardens. Megan could lose her job over this. Is that what you want? What I wanted was for my mother to hold my hand while my daughter took her last breath. I lean against the door frame. What people want and what they get are often different. By afternoon, Megan's edited video is circulating on Facebook. She's cut together security footage from my cameras, carefully omitting the parts showing her swinging the bat. Comments pile up beneath it, mostly family members expressing outrage at my cruelty to my homeless sister. I don't respond, don't defend, don't explain. Derek calls me after seeing it. Your cousin Mark asked if I'd seen what Lauren did. I set him straight about what really happened at the funeral. You didn't have to do that. Someone should tell the truth. He pauses. Anyone who was at Chloe's funeral knows that. By evening, 3 mothers from Chloe's school have commented with eyewitness accounts of the empty seats in the front row seats reserved for family who never came. Chloe's oncology nurse shares how she sat with me during those final hours when no one else came. The truth emerges without my intervention, like water finding its way downhill. My lawyer calls on Thursday. The cease and desist letters have been delivered. Both your mother and sister are legally prohibited from posting about you on social media now. Thank you. There's something else. The Community Foundation called. They want to establish a children's cancer research fund in Chloe's name. They've already raised $12,000. My throat tightens. I didn't know. Apparently, Derek helped organize it. She pauses. Oh, and I've been getting calls from several people offering character references for you. Your former neighbors, Chloe's teachers, even a church group that used to include your mother. I blink in surprise. Mom's church friends? They saw the truth, Lauren. They're not supporting her version anymore. Later that day, my phone buzzes with a text from my neighbor. You should check social media. Megan's employer responded. I find a statement from the county health department. We are aware of the situation involving one of our employees. Ms. Bennett has been placed on administrative leave pending investigation. My phone rings almost immediately. Mom's number. Lauren. She sobs when I answer. The church group is asking questions. Your father's sister saw Megan's video and called me. Our family reputation. Mom, I interrupt quietly. This isn't about reputation. Megan's been suspended. This is your fault. The old Lauren would have apologized. Would have found a way to absorb blame. No, I say simply. This is about choices. After I hang up, 3 text notifications appear from relatives who previously condemned me. Uncle Jim simply reads, I heard what really happened. I'm sorry. Are you sure about this? My lawyer slides the documents across her desk. Once it's done, there's no going back. I pick up the pen, studying the bold type at the top of the page. Restraining order application. Chloe's voice echoes in my memory. Mommy, why do you always let Aunt Megan be mean to you? I never had a good answer for her then. I do now. Some bridges aren't meant to be rebuilt after they burn. I sign my name with steady hands. As I finish the signature, my phone chimes with a message from my stepdad. We need to work something out, Lauren. This has gone too far. Too far. That's what they call consequences. Not once has anyone mentioned Chloe's funeral, the empty chairs, the absence when I needed them most. Their concern is only for themselves. I placed the signed restraining order in my lawyer's hands. For the first time since Chloe died, I feel the weight on my chest lighten just a little. It was never about the house. I park my car at the curb, watching as Uncle Todd's minivan pulls up behind me. Aunt Melissa and Cousin Jen climb out, their faces arranged in identical masks of concern. My phone buzzes. Mom. Again. The fifth call in 30 minutes. The front door opens before I reach it. My mother stands there, tears already tracking her makeup. Lauren, honey, we've all been so worried. I step back, allowing them inside without a word. They file past Mom, Todd, Aunt Melissa, Uncle Dave, Cousin Jen, and Uncle Pete. No Megan. Of course. Mom reaches for my arm, but I shift just enough that her fingers brush empty air. Let's sit in the living room, I say, my voice steadier than it has any right to be. The room feels smaller with all of them in it. They take the couch, the armchairs, perching like vultures waiting for something to die. Lauren, Todd begins, clearing his throat. Since you discontinued your support, we've had some financial difficulties. I don't answer. Just wait. We never wanted to bring this up during such a difficult time. Jen says, her voice soft as poison. But we're concerned about your mental state. Grief can do terrible things to a person's judgment. Mom dabs at her eyes with a tissue. First, I lost my granddaughter. Now I feel like I'm losing you too. My fingers find the edge of the folder on the side table. I slide it onto my lap. And there's the issue of your rental property, Todd adds. Several neighbors have mentioned concerns. Said you seemed unstable. Are you finished? I ask. They exchange glances. No one speaks. Good. I stand, moving to the center of the room. I didn't invite you here today for reconciliation. I open the folder and remove a stack of papers. Lauren, we're just trying to, Mom starts. 3 months ago, I interrupt. Megan sent me this text when I told her Chloe was dying. I hold up my phone and read, I know it's hard, but some of us still have lives to live. My housewarming is important too. The room goes quiet. And here, I continue, tapping the screen, is my mother's voicemail from the morning of Chloe's funeral. I press play. Mom's voice fills the room. We promised Megan we'd help with her party. She's been planning it for months. I'm sure Chloe would understand. Aunt Melissa shifts uncomfortably. Uncle Dave stares at his hands. I set down the phone and pull out a stack of papers. These are bank statements showing the $2,000 I sent you every month for the past 5 years, including the 3 months Chloe was in hospice. I let the papers fall on the coffee table. And here are my medical bills from the same period. Todd will meet my eyes now. Here's the security footage from 2 weeks ago. Megan breaking my windows. I place a USB drive beside the papers. The police have it too. I turn to face my mother directly. And here's what you didn't know I had. I press play on another recording. Mom's voice. Lauren's always been too soft. Once Chloe's gone, we'll contest Dorothy's will. The house should have gone to Megan anyway. My mother's face drains of color. I have everything, Mom. Every manipulation. Every lie. The party photos posted during my daughter's funeral. The calls to my landlord. All of it. I walk to the side table and return with a stack of envelopes. This is a restraining order for each of you. I hand them out one by one. This is a lawsuit for property damage for Megan. And this, I place the final document on the table, is the deed to grandmother's house, which I've donated to the Children's Cancer Foundation. Uncle Pete stands up. You can't do that. I already have. The papers were signed yesterday. Mom rises, face twisted. You'll regret this when you're all alone. The laugh that escapes me holds no humor. I was already alone when my daughter died. You made sure of that. I cross to the front door and open it. Our family died the day you chose a party over my daughter's funeral. They file out in shocked silence. No one speaks. No one looks back. When the last one crosses the threshold, I close the door firmly. Not slammed, just closed. I lean against it, letting out a breath that feels like I've been holding it for years. The house is quiet. Empty but somehow fuller than it's been in months. I cross to the window and watch them leave in a parade of cars, faces stiff with shock. The mighty fallen, the manipulators exposed. A week later, I'm watering the potted geraniums on my porch when the mail carrier walks up my drive. Package for you, Miss Bennett. He hands me a thick envelope. I recognize the return address immediately. Megan's lawyer. The weight of it should feel ominous. Instead, I feel nothing but calm as I slide my finger under the flap. Sometimes the greatest peace comes not from forgiveness, but from finally walking away. The butter yellow paint catches morning light as I run my fingers along the freshly finished wall. Chloe's artwork framed in simple wood creates a gallery down the hallway of my new home. The heaviness in my chest has transformed over this past year. Not gone, but different. A companion rather than a crushing weight. My phone buzzes against the kitchen counter. Lauren, it's Derek. I've been thinking about that support group idea. I cradle the phone against my shoulder while watering the potted marigolds. I've already drafted the mission statement. Of course you have. His laugh holds no mockery, just warmth. The community center offered their space for free. Tuesday evenings. I glance at my laptop where the words, after loss, finding strength when family fails you, glow on the screen. It's writing itself, honestly. The cemetery gates stand open, the air crisp with early autumn. Unlike my first visits when each step felt like wading through concrete stride, now carries purpose. The polished stone appears before me, Chloe's name catching sunlight. I kneel on the grass, placing her drawing against the headstone. The crayon bright superhero figure me, in Chloe's imagination sports a cape and a determined smile. You made me stronger than I ever knew I could be. Tears come, but they don't drown me anymore. Back home, I change for my therapy group 6 parents who understand the unique grief of outliving their children. No platitudes, no pressure to move on, just honest navigation through impossible terrain. Messages arrive from 3 different friends, real ones, who appeared after the storm, who respect my boundaries and offer support without conditions. The promotion at the medical journal came unexpectedly. Your editing has become more precise, my boss said, deeper somehow. Later, my backyard fills with quiet laughter. Derek and his new wife arrange sunflowers around Chloe's memorial stone. My therapy group friends arrive bearing dishes that steam in the cool evening air. To the family we choose, Carol announces, raising her glass as twilight settles, not the family we're born to. At the children's hospital, I arrange art supplies while children in various stages of treatment gather around the activity table. A woman hovers in the doorway, her eyes holding the shell-shocked look I recognize. First diagnosis? I ask quietly. She nods, tears threatening. Leukemia, 3 days ago. You don't have to answer every call or accept every casserole. I need her eyes directly. Protect your space. Some people will make this about them. Her shoulders drop slightly. No one said that. You made me feel less alone today, she whispers before leaving. The certified letter arrives on a Tuesday. My mother's handwriting on the return address. I open it calmly, scanning paragraphs about her regret, her pain, her need for reconciliation. I file it away without response and return to my garden. Kneeling in the soil, I plant a row of bright zinnias, Chloe's favorites. Their orange and pink faces will turn toward the sun, just as she always did. On the patio table, a stack of fresh manuscript pages catches the breeze. Building Boundaries, Protecting Your Peace reads the title. Miss Lauren? A small voice startles me. Lily, the 8-year-old from next door, stands at the garden gate. What's this stone for? That's for my daughter, Chloe. She loved butterflies. Did she die? Lily asks with the direct simplicity of children. Yes. The word comes easily now. She used to make up songs about caterpillar swinging. Lily touches the stone gently. I bet she was nice. The nicest, I answer, and realize I'm smiling at the memory, not crying. My phone rings. The children's hospital coordinator's name flashes on screen. Lauren, would you consider expanding your art program to our other locations? The families keep asking when you're coming back. As sunset paints the sky, I water the memorial garden one last time. The photo of Chloe rests nearby, her smile untouched by time. You were right, sweetheart, I whispered to her image. It's making people happy.